So welcome to this month's edition of In the Know webinar. We appreciate you attending, and we have a lot of stuff going on today. So I am Wesley Booth. I'll be your host today for the In the Know webinar. I'm a customer care agent based here in Tucson, Arizona. I've been with Intuit for 3 years, and my passion has been training the team, and that's one of the reasons why I have this role here. I work on the national accounts team, so some of you may get a chance to talk to me once in a while. So appreciate you being here today. And we'll just jump right into our agenda. We have a new Find a Pro Advisor marketplace that's going to be huge for matchmaking, growing your practice. That's really what this is all about, helping you really grow your practice. We have self-employed is going to be wholesale billing here very, very shortly. We have a new capture for banking. We have CCBC on more forms. We now have an upgrade from QBO-P. Anybody that's wanted to upgrade from QBO-P to full service payroll has known that that's always been a pain. So we got a few changes in payroll. We have also another exciting feature, T-Sheets. I know it's not an Intuit product. It's our #1 app. It's really going to be helpful for saving a lot of time. And then I'm going to get back into partial purchase orders. It's going to be a huge workflow and efficiency increase. So with that, we'll just jump right into our content today. Our first topic is the new Find a Pro Advisor marketplace, helping you grow your practice. This is going to be a lot more effective in matchmaking, getting more clients to grow your practice. Most of you should have received an email that looks something like this last week, and that's what this topic is going to be about today. So if you haven't received that email, check that out. We'll get a live demo here today of what that features are. To do that, we have our presenter today is Ray Choi. He's a product manager with the QBO team. As a previous business owner, he's passionate about the success of small businesses. And as a business owner, he understands the value of having an accountant working with his management team to really make his business more successful. So he's dedicated for the success of not only the small businesses, but accounting professionals through this Find a Pro Advisor marketplace. So Ray is excited about this launch and how it can bring benefits to both small business and pro advisors. So thanks, Ray, for joining today and presenting. We're glad to have you here today. Nice.
Listening in on the QuickBooks thing.
Sorry. Can you hear me now? Okay. Sorry about that. We had a little sound problem. So thanks, Ray, for showing up today.
So thank you very much for that introduction. It's super excited to talk to you guys about the new Find a Pro Advisor marketplace. So before we get into the actual demo, I want to spend some time saying some context about the new marketplace itself. The new marketplace is available in the United States, Canada, UK, Australia, as well as India. So it's a true global launch. We see about 1 million small businesses visit Find a Pro Advisor per year, and we're rebuilding the entire marketplace to drive pro advisors better quality leads. So we want to make sure that we get you guys the best leads possible that's right for you. And for this new marketplace release, we've actually done extensive research with small businesses and pro advisors to understand what information most important, and what you're going to see demonstrated results from those insights. Just a couple of things to keep in mind that in December, we launched the first phase of the new Pro Advisor profile page, which includes a new edit profile page of Pro Advisors in QuickBooks Online for accountants. And this month, we released the new small business-facing experience, both in QuickBooks Online and on the web at findaproadvisor.com. So with that, I'd love to show you guys a new demo of the new experience. So right now, I am logged into my new QBO firm, and I land on my clients page. And one of the first things you're going to see is that we now have a brand new avatar on the upper right-hand side. This new avatar now allows me to enter my profile directly. And once I enter a profile directly, you're going to see this new profile page. On the And some of the things that we've heard is, how can we best make sure that the profile is set up properly and filled out properly with information that's relevant? So starting from the right-hand side, section called Improve Your Profile, where we actually provide you with actionable insights on what you can do to make sure your profile is up to date. We have a middle piece here that includes your profile strength, which shows you how strong your profile is based on how you fill in your profile. And the coolest thing is on the right-hand side, we've included this new section called Performance. So now we can show you the number of profile views you're receiving, the number of leads and inquiries you're receiving, as well as social sites, social links that were viewed by a small business. And I'll go into that just a little bit. So starting on the upper right-hand side, if you look at Improve Your Profile, right now I see a call to action that says update your industries. Because as you look down my profile page, you'll notice that I have my top card, which is my picture, my name, my address. We also have the certified experts in. So one of the big things that we heard from small businesses was that, hey, they have all these really cool looking badges, but I have no idea what. Can you tell me more about these badges? What we did was now we called out individual badges. For example, here, I have advanced certification in both QuickBooks Online Advanced as well as QuickBooks Desktop. We want to make sure we tie back those different badges to an actual name. Then about me page, we have a years in business side, services, industries, languages, and a whole new section here called social sites, where if I click on these little pencil icons on the right-hand side, each spot is open for me to fill in. So this is actually very important because some of the things that we've heard from small businesses is that they would look someone up on Find a Provisor, they'll find them, find that accountant, they will then take that person and go search for them. What they would do then is that they'll find them on Google, they'll go to
Muted.
their YouTube or their blog. So what we did now was, if we can now be able to provide the Provisor with the ability to actually input all those different sites, we can now actually provide the Provisor with actual insights on what links these small businesses are looking for. We also have the same area for software expertise, as well as professional designations, and of course the client review process. So going back to the very top where we have Improve Your Profile, right now my profile strength is strong, and I should update my industries because that's what this right-hand action side tells me. So if I was to click on Update Your Industries, it will automatically take me down to Industry section and open it up. And there I can select what industry that I'm an expert in and click Save. You'll see that it has said saved on the top. And now my profile strength has gone up to be excellent. One thing I do want to point out is that within the top card, if you click on the pencil icon and open it up, this email address that you put into your profile page, this is where all your leads will be sent to you from the small business side. So with that, I do want to switch over, and now I'm going to put the role of a small business. So I want to show you what the small business will see. So as a small business, I'm logged into QBO, and I have a store called Regis All Store, and you'll see that now there's this new first-time use experience here. So as soon as they log in, we want to make sure that they get set up by a pro as quick as possible. So it's actually the third one here where it says get set up by a pro, and there's a link for Find a Pro to Help. If you click on Find a Pro to Help, it'll automatically bring the Provisor page up. So right now, I'm going to take for example that my business is in Forks, Washington. So I select Forks, and this is what they'll see. So right away, we made the biggest changes with your certifications. And before, if you remember, there were lots of little tiny badges, but now we want to make sure we call them out up front and prominent. And that was because all the small businesses that we interviewed and we spoke with were telling us that, hey, we know these badges are important, but we have no idea what they mean at all. It would be much more helpful for us to understand what these badges mean, and can you actually call it out. So we want to call it out front and center. Something you'll notice that once you go inside to the profile page, you'll see all the information is now laid out clearly and easy for a small business to read. You'll see that the Send Messages section right here is automatically filled in based on what the user searched for, and has their name, their email address, their phone number. And the review section is now actually consolidated, so you'll see an overall rating as well as the down the different ratings, and we actually provide all the reviews for them in one place to read. One thing that I do want to show is that if you were to send this message, it'll say, thank you, you successfully sent your message. And now, as a pro advisor, what you will see then is, you will see in your inbox that this person has contacted you from the QuickBooks Find a Pro Advisor directory, and you can reply to them directly on the spot. So it's a quick and easy flow from both the accountant side as well as the small business trying to contact you via the new Find a Pro Advisor marketplace. Okay, and with that, Wesley, if there's any questions. So, let's see, one question. Any plans to return the mention of the years that we have been certified? So we've heard that a lot. Thank you for bringing that up. We are actively looking at the best way to actually represent that data to the small business as well, to actually show them that, it's that's important. A lot of the interviews that we spoke with small businesses, they mentioned that it was a lot of noise to them, and they really didn't understand what it was, and it actually confused them even more. So our goal is to provide something that the small business can see and make sure they can make the best decision. This is why you'll notice that the certifications are now upfront and prominent and called out very clearly.
So, Ray, we got a question here about the master admin on that profile. How does that work? Because, when you have a team member coming in, is that going to be their own profile, or how do they deal with the master admin on a firm with maybe they got 20 staff or even 3 or 4? How does that work in that dashboard?
Correct. So to be a pro advisor is tied to an individual and not at the firm level. So in order to be on the profile, that pro advisor, that individual, needs to be certified in one of the QuickBooks products to be on the directory or in the marketplace.
So, okay, so somebody's got a LinkedIn or something, link, let's say LinkedIn/feed. Is that all they need on that page for their social links?
Can you explain that one more time?
Okay, so the question is, okay, when I try to add my LinkedIn profile, I see the feed. So how do they make sure that when they click on LinkedIn, they actually go to their own profile there?
Okay, so let me actually showcase what that does. So in this example, I am now back into my QBO account, or I'm now a small business again. If I was to click on one of these social sites on the bottom, if I clicked on LinkedIn, it will now open up the LinkedIn site that I have placed into that area.
So they would have to edit that link to make sure it goes to their profile, LinkedIn
Correct.
profile.
Correct. So that's where you go back into QBOA. Within QBOA, under social sites, you can then now individually change these different links to be reflective of your personal LinkedIn account.
So, okay, so let's say a client finds you and wants to reach out to you. How does that process work? Because obviously there's, on the client side, they're going to have a mechanism for saying, okay, I want to reach out to Ray. How does that work?
So as a client, if I'm in QBO, as you'll see right now, you'll see there's a way for them to get the phone number to call you directly, or there's a send message functionality on this right-hand side that will actually send you the pro advisor email directly saying that, hey, you have a new lead.
Okay, thank you, Ray. Got a praise here. Somebody's liking it. That's always good when you like our new features. Appreciate that. So that's going to be all of our questions for now. So we're going to jump into our next topic. So thank you, Ray, for presenting today. Appreciate that. And we will deal with the rest of those questions after the webinar. Sorry we can't get to them all today. Self-employed QuickBooks added to wholesale billing. That is scheduled to happen momentarily. I'll just say momentarily. We have the due release coming out pretty much as I speak. Can't give you, let's say, if it's going to be out noon today or not. But the next day or two when it rolls out, you will be able to add self-employed to wholesale billing. So just want to make an announcement that That's one of the new features coming out with the update that's coming right now. So another item we have is we've added a reCAPTCHA to banking. This is a new security feature, and it's really quite simple. When you go to add a bank account for downloading transactions, you're all familiar with the page where you add a bank account, you type in your username and password, and we've added this "I'm not a robot" in the middle of the page there. So that's something that you want to be aware of, and then if you click on it, it then can jump into this page where it says select all images, and depending upon whatever the images are, it'll have you pick. So we just want to let you know that that's there. It's something we've implemented a week or two ago, so you may have noticed that. CCBCC, we covered that a couple of months ago. On the invoice is where there's a setting for that. We've added to 4 additional forms. We had it on the invoice, and now with this new release, when it rolls out to you, you'll see it in the estimate, the credit memo, the sales receipt, and the refund receipt as well. And I'll just give you an example of the sales receipt. You can see there right under the email, the normal email field there, we have the CC/BCC, and if you click on that, that'll pop up that window so you can go ahead and enter those additional email addresses if you so choose to do that. So then we also have QuickBooks Online Payroll. We now have a straightforward feature where we can upgrade to QuickBooks Full Service Payroll without all of the angst that we've had to do in the past. Now this is going to take a call to support because we'll have to verify each account, but there's a couple of questions I want to cover here. Can I upgrade to full service payroll? If I've already run payroll this year, yes you can, but again you'll need to call support as it's not a self-serve option at this time. We're working that. Hopefully in the future we might be able to get to that point. But right now call your care agent and they can verify that company. Another question that I want to address up front before we actually deal with that is, will I have to pay double for both services in the month of upgrade? So let's say your billing cycle for payroll is the 5th of the month and you upgrade today the 22nd. You would continue to pay we wouldn't charge you anything else. That billing cycle would still finish that entire cycle. Then on the 5th, you would have the new billing for the new service. So if we'll need to call support. We have that support number right there. So you might want to write that down if you have customers that want to move from QuickBooks Online Payroll to QuickBooks Full Service Payroll. And the next item we're going to cover real quick is some payroll style changes. Now this is something you may have noticed, you may not have noticed. It's basically we're just changed the fonts and style. If you notice in November or December, we made quite a dramatic change to QuickBooks layout and the fonts. And what we're doing is we're just bringing that to payroll now. This is what the payroll looked like before the change last week, and this is what it looks like now. Notice, I'll go back. There's not much change there on this employees page. That's the new page. And on the get ready to run payroll when you're adding somebody, this is the old page and this is the new page. And then on your taxes screen, this is the old page and this is the new page. And you can see it's not going to be a dramatic change. We just want to make sure everybody's aware of. We're rolling out a consistent font and look to everybody. So we're really not going to take any questions verbally on this content I just covered. But if you do have questions on any of these items we just covered, feel free to put them in the questions box and we will get back with you on that. And so now I'd like to jump into one of our headline topics, T-sheets. We have a major new integration features that's really going to revamp the whole time tracking. It's going to reduce time and increase accuracy. And so this is going to be something that's everybody that uses time tracking is going to get real excited about. And with that, I want to introduce Jessica Knuth, and she's actually works with T-sheets. She's not an Intuit staff, so she's a real expert in T-sheets, and she works with T-sheet. She works in their account and sales segment, and her passion is for client success. She helps her existing accounting professionals identify which of their clients are a good fit because she wants to make sure the clients are set up for success. And she's passionate about ensuring your clients understand how T-Sheets can help their business grow and succeed. And she's here to help with that best possible experience. So I'd like to welcome Jessica for presenting today. Welcome, Jessica. Welcome, Jessica.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Alrighty, I just want to make sure everyone can see my screen okay. Thanks for the introduction, Wesley. My name is Jessica, and I do work over at T-Sheets. So thanks for letting an outsider join you guys today. Super excited and honored to be here educating you on T-Sheets and the QuickBooks Online in-product integration. So for those of you who aren't familiar with T-Sheets, I'm just going to give you a really brief, high-level kind of explanation of what we are, and then I'll let you know where you can go to find some more information if you aren't familiar with T-Sheets today. But we are the #1 rated and requested time tracking and scheduling solution within QuickBooks Online and QuickBooks Desktop, actually. But if you visit your Intuit App Center, which all of you probably do frequently when looking for new products, new apps, wanting to make sure that you're recommending the right things to your clients and that you're putting them in good hands, that's probably one of the places you go, and we are the #1 rated app there. So we have over 2,000 5-star reviews on our time tracking and our scheduling software. So essentially how T-Sheets works is that it's an online cloud-based time tracking and scheduling program, which basically just means that you can clock in and clock out from any of the devices that you see on that slide right now. So a computer, a tablet, smartphone. You can log into your T-Sheets account, track time, have that time be tracked against customers, jobs, projects, service items, classes, even a billable yes/no choice. The great thing about that is all of that information is pulled over right from your QuickBooks accounts. There's no double entry. You just simply integrate your T-Sheets and QuickBooks accounts together. We'll pull over all of that information for you. We'll also pull over your employee list and your vendor list as well. So you can even have 1099 contractors, track time in there for invoicing and billing purposes. So once that information's been sent over, employees can clock in and clock out, track time against those things, and then you're able to run reports, payroll reports, project reports, see how profitable different jobs are, and then you can export that time over into QuickBooks Online for invoicing, billing, and payroll as well. At least that's how it used to be. So really excited to show you guys a step that we've cut from that process. There's no longer that exporting time feature. You'll be able to do that right from within QuickBooks Online, which is super exciting. So for those of you who are on the line today, I did want to let you know about our partner program that we have as well. A lot of you might be thinking, oh, that sounds great, but I don't track my time, or I do value billing or value pricing. I don't really need to clock in and clock out. That's just fine. We have built T-Sheets definitely for small businesses, for them and their employees in order to make them more profitable. But we recognize the Pro Advisor's valuable part in that process, that your clients and your business owners that you work with, they look to you to be the valuable resource and their trusted advisor, and they want to make sure that they are understanding and getting the best app possible, and we want you to feel comfortable recommending that as well. So we have created a partner program very similar and actually modeled very much in unison with the Intuit Pro Advisor program. There's over 10,000 pros, T-Sheets pros, who partner with us currently. Basically what this means at a high level is that you get a free T-Sheets account that you can use internally for your own practice, either to track your own time, or you can use it to just kick the tires a bit, see how T-Sheets works, make sure that you understand the ins and outs of the software. We also give you a 20% commission on any clients you refer to us, and you refer them with a specific link so we know that those clients came from you. We always call you first and say, hey, John, saw that you referred your client Bob's Landscaping to us. What do I need to know about Bob? We try to make sure that you stay connected in that whole process. You earn that 20% commission on any clients you refer to us. Your clients also get a 10% discount, so they get a little bit of a nice cut there for using T-Sheets through you. And then we offer unlimited and free support, training for your clients and their employees. So all of that is included just in being part of T-Sheets. We don't want to charge for support. We want to make sure that you can call us at any time if you've got questions, and we'll make sure that your clients are taken care of. So for those of you who aren't signed up yet for that partner program, which I'm sure a lot of you on the call today are, we love that about our Intuit pros, as you guys are so loyal to us, and whenever we go to conferences, this is actually QuickBooks Connect this last year, the picture you're looking at, and we get that much of a crowd around our booth, and so many of you support us that way. But if you aren't signed up yet, please go to tsheets.com/pros. You can learn a little bit more about that program there. You can also email prosupport@tsheets.com if you have questions. All right, so let's jump a little bit into the product that we were just talking about that Wesley announced this big news. So like I said, for those of you who aren't familiar with T-Sheets, we have tons of different resources for you, and I'll send those out to Wesley in the follow-up so you guys can check those out. So if you need more information on how T-Sheets works, you can do that there. But I did want to show you briefly, this is a T-Sheets account. So for those of you that aren't familiar, this is what T-Sheets looks like. It's that cloud-based time tracking. So I'm logged in on my computer right now, but you can log in on a tablet through our kiosk mode, on a phone. And previously, this was a really great integration. I was able to log in, like I said, into T-Sheets, track my time against my customers and jobs that pulled over right from my QuickBooks account, see where my employees were located over here in this Who's Working window. And then when it was time to run payroll, I would come over here to a payroll report or an approvals report if I was working with QuickBooks Online. And I would run this report. And then I'd be able to see my hours here. Here's my hours from my employees. I was able to dig down into the details, check out those hours, take a look at every single timesheet associated, and once I did that, I was able to send those hours over to QuickBooks by clicking this Approve button and then going to this QuickBooks drop-down menu here and hitting Export All Approved Time. So it was a pretty seamless integration, but we decided with Intuit that just wasn't good enough. We wanted you to be able to have all of the benefits of T-Sheets right within inside QuickBooks. We don't want you to have to leave QuickBooks in order to get that functionality. So now I'm going to jump over into my QuickBooks account and show you guys just at a high level what that looks like now. So now when it's time for payroll or to do my time for invoicing, I don't have to log into my T-Sheets account, approve the time, and send it over into QuickBooks. I can just come to my Approved Time section in QuickBooks Online under the Employees tab. I'm going to open that up here. Once that opens, let's see if I can get that to reload. Maybe having lagging internet, sorry about that. There we go. Once that loads, I just choose my week. So I'm going to go to that same last week that I just showed you guys. And what you see here is all my time that was tracked in T-Sheets, but it's already in QuickBooks. I didn't have to do anything. I can see that my employees submitted their hours, which is a function that they can do. That lets me know that my employees saw their time, that they believe that it's correct. They sent it over to me. And then just like in T-Sheets, I can click on the employee. I can see all of the time that was sent over, the total hours, the date, which customer they tracked that time against, what service item or what task they were doing. If the time was billable, I can click on each specific timesheet, and I can see what's been done to it, any notes that were made. I can unlock it and make edits to it if I'd like. So I could change the total hours, I could change the customer from here, change the service item, anything I want, and I can hit Save. And then once I've done that and checked on all this time and made sure it was correct, I can just hit Approve. That's going to approve that time for me, and then I can go on to do my payroll, and we do integrate with a variety of your payroll products as well. So once that time is in QuickBooks, I can use payroll there, again, by clicking Approve right from within QuickBooks. No longer do I have to jump into T-Sheets and approve it there, so it makes that two-step process, which was already pretty seamless, a one-step process, which is really exciting. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my question panel, see if we have any questions. We do have demo and training videos for T-Sheets. I'll actually go ahead and type where you can find those in right into this chat panel. And of course, you can always email us. I'll put that in here as well. prosupport@tsheets.com if you're looking for a specific video, and we can send those over to you. But we have tons of training on T-Sheets. And then it looks like my question was, can you use T-Sheets for contractors if you don't use Intuit payroll? Yes, you can. So you can send over your vendors or your contractors into T-Sheets, have them sign in and track their time, and then have that time sent over into QuickBooks for invoicing and billing purposes. As you'll see here, because the time comes right over into this approved time section, it's not actually in a payroll specific section. Once this time is approved, you can then put it on an invoice, put it on a bill, or then use it for payroll as well. Let's see, the other question I had, has T-Sheets been approved by the federal government for government contracting labor? We are set up to be DCAA and DOL compliant, not off the gate, but there are things that we can do to set that account up. Legally, we can't say that we've been approved by the federal government for government contracting, just like you can't promise those things because you do have to use it right, but we can set your account up to be that way. So if you need that or if you have a client that needs that, definitely let us know. It's free add-ons and installations. We just have to take away a couple features. For example, mobile time tracking isn't available for DCAA and government contractors, so we'd have to take away some features, add some features, but it's definitely possible. And then my last question I got was job costing in T-Sheets. And T-Sheets does handle the labor portion of job costing. So because you're tracking time against customers, jobs, and service items, and you can mark that time as billable, you can then see how much labor each job took. You can run reports on that in T-Sheets, or of course, once the time's in QuickBooks, you can then use it to run a full job costing report.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. I got a couple more for you. So sick leave, vacation, that kind of thing. How does that work? Is that all included in T-Sheets too?
It is, yeah. I'll show you guys that briefly, but we do have PTO, so you can accrue paid time off in T-Sheets. You can submit it as well. So you can set up your different accruals for all sorts of different paid time off, and then you can take it from this PTO tool as well. So if you have an employee that was given PTO, they can then go in and take a day if they want, or you can make it so that employees have to ask, or you have to put the PTO in for them, or that paid time off in for them. And then once that time is tracked as PTO, when it comes over into QuickBooks and you run payroll, it'll also take it from that bank in payroll as well.
Okay, thanks. We got one more. T-Sheets, the time measurement. How does that work, the time measurement in T-Sheets?
I might need some clarification on time measurement.
So do we put it in minutes versus hours?
Yeah, it can be done in actually a few different ways. So we've got this punch in and punch out style time clock. So that's going to clock you in, clock you out. So that's when you'll be able to see, maybe for your hourly employees, exactly when they clocked in, exactly when they clocked out. You can see it's calculating it in hours, minutes, and seconds. So it's adding that up for me there. I can then switch from job to job and see exactly when employees clocked in and clocked out. We also have this manual time card option where you can just put, total hours worked. So on Monday, I spent 5 hours working on John Archibald, and then I can again say what I was doing for him, if my time was billable or not, and then save that. Side note,
on that sheet right there, I think that's always been a question that I've had is, when you put in 5, let's say it's 5 and something, is that minutes? Is that fractions of an hour? Is that 5.2? Or is that 5 minutes, 23 minutes?
Yeah, good question. We actually just changed this to line up with QuickBooks. So it's going to be hours and minutes. So you would put in 5.5, and that's going to be 5.5 hours. And then that is how QuickBooks reads time. You guys only take time in hours and minutes. So we actually shave off the seconds and round those up in the time cards for you so that the time doesn't have any discrepancy between what you see here in QuickBooks and what you see in T-Sheets.
Okay, thanks. I know that's always been a question I've had.
Yeah, no, it's confusing for sure.
So we have a lot more questions. Keep the questions coming in. Sorry, we can't get to all the questions today, but I want to thank Jessica for giving a presentation, and we will respond to all of the questions that are coming in on this today. And I just want to mention that Jessica, you do have a lot of training, so a lot of these questions may be covered in your training programs, right?
Absolutely, yeah. If you're looking for any specific functions or wanting a deeper dive into the T-Sheets product itself, definitely go to that website that I put in the chat panel to everybody, tsheets.com/training. That has pre-recorded webinars and live trainings you can sign up for as well.
So thank you, Jessica. So that's been wonderful presentation today, and I know a lot of people use time tracking, so this is going to be huge, and I want to thank T-Sheets for partnering with Intuit, making all of our lives more effective and productive here. So
Absolutely.
thank you again,
Thanks
Jessica.
for having me.
Questions? I will see. I am not the program manager on this, so I'm not going to be able to be the expert on answering all of your questions, but we will get your questions answered. Question about Bill.com, that's actually coming in a later webinar. Can multiple estimates, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to submit this to our product management team, all these questions, because I want to make sure we get the questions. So we will reach out to you later today or tomorrow with answers to these questions. So feel free to put your questions in there. So we will take care of that. And so now what I'd like to do is kind of put a wrap on the end of this webinar. I want to thank you for attending. We have a Accountant's Help Hub. If you haven't visited that, we've designed it just for you. What we've done is we've taken the most relevant content to our pro advisors, our accounting professionals, consolidated it, made a one-stop shop so it makes it easy for you to find the answers to your questions quickly without having to necessarily sort through all of our knowledge-based systems, which can be a little bit cumbersome because we have so much information available. So there's some links. We have a YouTube channel. This is being recorded, and each of the segments today will be broken out as individual segments. So those will be loaded up on the YouTube channel later today, and there will be a follow-up email tomorrow that you'll receive about 24 hours after this webinar is over, that those links will be in that. Also, we want to highlight the accountant blog. That email actually just went out this morning. So we have a work with that team to make sure our content is relevant and somewhat consistent, so you have multiple resources for getting updated on what's new in QuickBooks Online. We also have an online feature request, and that link as well will be in that follow-up email. And so obviously we don't have every single feature that everybody wants today in QuickBooks Online. So if you have a feature that we need to include, let us know in that link to that website. So we definitely want to hear your feedback. And again, all your questions will get answered. There will be a follow-up email tomorrow with all the links that we've discussed and some other information. So look for that email about 24 hours after now. And so I want to thank everybody for attending today. You have a wonderful rest of your day, and you take care. Bye-bye.